have one more person coming, so. Mr. Willis? Hello. Abby Sheldon, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. If you would sign in and grab yourself whatever you need. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to the second public hearing for the Citizens Advisory Committee for Community Development. We are going to, in a second, review the annual action plan information. But first, my name's Abby Shelton. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of Owensboro. I have Evan Gogol with me, who is the Housing and Grant Coordinator. And if we could, because we have a new committee member, real quickly, start over here with Mario. If you could introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do.
My name is Mario Visueda, and I'm a wealth advisor for Old National Bank.
Bobby McCormick, I'm chairperson of Duga Best Neighborhood Alliance. Cecil Phillips, Habitat.
Titus, if you could. Yeah.
My name is Titus Willis. I'm with the Citizens Advisory and Community Development.
Fantastic. Well, I'm so happy everybody took the time to spend a few minutes here today with us. Like I said, we are here to discuss the annual action plan and take any comments from the public about the annual action plan. Each of you received a copy in your packet previous to this meeting, as well as the minutes. So we'll review those here in a second. So if I could, you guys have in front of you a copy of the March 9th minutes from the Citizens Advisory Committee. If I could get a motion to approve those minutes. Thank you, Bruce. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Bobby. Any discussion? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for the approval. All right. Like I said, I have a short, you guys have seen a lot of this information before, but now we have what our annual allocation is going to be, so you'll see some numbers plugged into the activities. Real quickly, annual AAP is the annual action plan. CDBG is Community Development Block Grant. HOME is just HOME. It's not an acronym. And it's the Home Partnership Program grant funds. HUD, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. LMI, low to moderate income. NRSA is a neighborhood revitalization strategy area. Everything we do is based on helping low to moderate income folks, or the majority of what we do is helping low to moderate income folks. We have not gotten the 2023 income limits as of yet, so we still refer to the 2022 income limits. And as you can see, it goes by household income, so we have 1 to 8 people in a household, and it gives you extremely low, very low, and low income. The low income limit, and when we do or implement our programs, is what we do to qualify the folks that we serve. The median income for the Owensboro, Kentucky MSA is $75,600. I can see that far. Okay. So we've got an updated map of all the projects that we have completed and are currently administering. There is a legend, a very tiny legend, and I can give you a larger map if you want after this meeting, but it covers our commercial facade, demolition, existing homeowner exterior rehab, our first-time home buyer down payment assistance projects, new builds, private, they actually applied for the grant but then pulled out, decided to do the project on their own, rental rehab, single-family new builds, single-family rehabs, and of course you've got the current Northwest NRSA boundary. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. But you can see there's a pretty good mixture of projects throughout the NRSA. So when we do our neighborhood revitalization strategy area, we consider these different tenets of how do you conscientiously revitalize an area. So we celebrate the area's history, unique qualities. We want to create neighborhood synergy. Of course, a lot of what we do is public participation driven. So we involve the community in several different ways before we implement the plan, get input, and make sure that we are addressing any community needs or concerns that are in that area. We want to create walkability and bikeability, embrace universal design, calm traffic where needed, support transit in any way we can, and of course beautify the area with trees, plants, public art, intersection improvements, things of that nature. And then if we can, give people a place to meet or enhance park spaces. So the annual action plan is just what it says it is. Uses the consolidated plan, which is a 5-year plan. Our current plan started in 2020 and it goes to 2024, June 2024, 2025. And it's just a review of basically the programs that we have in place to make sure that we are meeting the current needs of the NRSA in the city. So here's our allocation overview, down and dirty. 23-24 Community Development Block Grant funding will go for existing homeowner exterior rehab, downspout removal, beautification, CDBG admin, and commercial facade. So you can see that our total allocation that we just received from HUD was $559,233. $55,923 will go to exterior rehab. Our downspout removal project is going to wind down at the end of this fiscal year, so we're only putting $11,000 into it just to make sure that if there's any overarching needs that we can meet those needs for the citizens. Of course, we are going to, we have plans to beautify the Northwest NRSA through intersections from Hanning to Elm, right? Yeah. 7 intersections on First Street. So we're going to start the first of that project. Hopefully we'll bid that out by the fall, I would say. We have 75% plan design right now, so hopefully we'll get those back and we can get that to bid. Of course, we do collect administration fees to cover salaries and what the staff does internally. And then we will put $55,000 of that allocation towards commercial facade rehab. Now, those are just placeholders. If we need to beg, borrow from other areas, and we will do so to meet the needs of any of those other programming that we have put in place to make sure that citizens are, if they want to do exterior rehab and we need more money, we'll take it. So just to dive a little bit more into our programming, we do have a commercial facade rehab, which is a $15,000 max with a 25% match. So that means that we will pay a certain portion of that grant, and then the business owner must put some money into it as well. We do have existing homeowner exterior rehab, and you can see on the bottom there's a sliding scale based on the homeowner's income, and it's the household income, like I said earlier, that we go off of. So if you make less money, we pay more grant. If you make more money, we pay less grant. And everybody in the NRSA that owns a home does qualify for this program. We don't turn anybody away. So just depends on what the household is. And we encourage people to still apply for this program. We're doing it, like I said, until June 2024. I'm sorry, June 2025. Community development block grant continued. Of course, like I said, we're doing intersection improvements. We're still looking at sidewalk connections that may be needed or lighting enhancements. Of course, Pamela Canary, I say this every time, she does a great job with transit, and she has installed lighting in the bus stops, and we're going to start looking at when we're doing the intersection improvements places that we may need to put more bus stops. And of course, we're doing the downspout removal program, which is a partnership with RWRA. They are administering the program and going door to door to see if the homeowners want to participate. And of course, they did the smoke testing and everything to see which downspouts were connected. Our home program funding will go towards down payment assistance. Our community housing development organization, home build or new home build or developer grants. Of course, we do administration. Take administration fees from that, and we also will do some home buyer education. We put some money aside for that. So the majority of that fund, those funds will go to home builds or developer builds, which either we will do or we will work with Habitat or actually bid a house out to be built. Now, we did bid 2 houses recently. They came in quite over budget, so we're going to have to rebid those. Those are in Her Avenue and Woodford Avenue. Our total allocation for home funds is $330,207. So to dive into the programming, we do have our first-time home buyer program, which is down payment assistance and scattered sites. So either we give 10% of the down payment assistance to an applicant, or they can wait in line and wait for one of our new builds. We also have community catalyst grants, thanks to money the commission has put aside. We have $750,000 originally set aside, and I know there's a little bit more funding that will be put into that, but out of that, it's been this program has been really successful. We have single-family new builds for $15 per square foot, single-family rehabs for $12 per square foot, rental rehab reimbursement, say that fast 10 times, that's up to $4,000. That is a 100% match, so landlord wants to apply for a $4,000 grant, they do have to put $4,000 in. They don't have to meet that that $4,000 level, but everybody's taken advantage of the full amount thus far. We also have a demolition grant program, which is up to $5,000, and that is also a 100% match. So to wind down, we are now a good ways through our public participation process. What we will do now is send a municipal order, barring that you guys approve the annual action plan that you have in front of you. We'll send a municipal order to the commission for them to approve at a future meeting, and then we will submit the action plan to HUD on May 9th, on or around May 9th. Side note, I know this is not really on the agenda, but we did receive it's a third round funding, but it's our second round of funding for the COVID-19 response CDBG CARES Act funding. The total funding was $531,849, and the rental we're still working on, but it's about $409,000 that will be dispersed to 220 rental applicants. In the small business side, we will disperse $122,500 to 49 businesses. Now, the first part of that took place in 2020 and 2021, so some of those funds have already been spent. The majority has been spent, but we're still trying to work through applications, make sure everybody has their paperwork in, that the landlords have their information correct with the city so we can make those payments, 3 months of rental assistance to those folks that applied. Another side note, we are now currently working to establish where we will put the next NRSA. It's kind of a jumbled map, so you see where the Northwest NRSA is in green, and then you have the Mechanicsville, which has been completed, the Baptistown, which has been completed, Old Germantown, and Triplet Twist on the bottom there. Everything in blue has been a previous NRSA that has been completed, and now we've got 3 new ones we're looking at, one on the west, proposed boundary in red, one in the center, which is a proposed boundary. And it's a little, if you can see that it's not just a square that goes north and south, that reaches a little bit west into Baptistown. And then there's one on the west that reaches into the Old Germantown district. So we're still working on those, pulling numbers in, but with an NRSA, you have to have at least 51% of those folks that are LMI in all of those areas meet those. And they have to be mainly residential. So we are taking comments still. Until we tidy up our action plan, we're still, anybody that wants to submit comments to myself or Evan, that's our contact information. And I found this quote because of the celebrities we have in the room. All of you guys are active in the community and have done so much for so many years. It reminded me of you guys. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. George Bernard Shaw. I thought that was a fitting quote to sum up what you guys do, and I do appreciate, and the community appreciates the time that you give to your neighborhoods. Is there any questions?
Oh, Abby,
Yes.
are you generally satisfied with the response of the public,
For the NRSA,
for the public in general?
I really don't get many comments. I reach out to, I do send the annual action plan to the service agencies, and I do get some nice feedback from the directors, especially if they're like, oh, no, we're not doing this right. And I genuinely appreciate that, because if there's a service gap, then I want to know how to address it better. But I encourage anybody that has any comments, they can call me, they can come meet with me. COVID's kind of over, so I like to have face-to-face meetings as well.
Okay.
Any other comments, concerns, questions about the annual action plan? I know it's kind of lengthy and there's a lot of meat in there, but they just want to make sure that we talk to the right people in the community and gather what we can.
Is there a possible way that I can get that data in a bigger form of those maps?
The map?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome.
I can send that to you. I can either send it to you or print it off for you, so just let me know
Okay.
after the meeting.
Awesome.
Anybody else have any other questions? All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the annual action plan as presented to you. Thank you, Bruce. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Bobby. Any comments or discussion? All in favor of approval of the plan, please signify by the sign of aye. Thank you so much. It passes. I will give this to the commission to read and to approve at their next meeting. And now we will hold a public forum for all the people in the audience. Evan, have any comments? Mr. Newsperson, do you have any comments? No? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate everything you do for the community. Titus, welcome, and I hope to see your face more often around here. You guys, if you have any other questions or concerns, you know where to find me, or in general, anything that you need from the community, I'm happy to assist you in any way. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Bruce. All right, we are adjourned. I appreciate everybody.